All right, we are live. We are going to do some online arbitrage sourcing, and we're kind of going to just start as if we are starting from scratch and just trying to get a feel for what the office category is like. For those of you guys who don't know, I've sold a ton in the office category. So let's just go ahead and get started and make some money here. So if you guys are new to a category, you could just take a look at what is one of the fastest selling items in the category and then just get a sense of what's going on there, and then take a look at some of the other sellers and see what they're selling. So right now we're on rank number 14 in office products. This is a pretty wide rating, wide listing. It has a bunch of different variations of calculators. We go to the variations tab. If you're kind of curious, like, okay, I mean, this is basic stuff, but if you don't know this, this is super helpful. If you're curious, okay, how often does the black one sell versus the purple one sell or the teal one sell? You can go down to variations and get a sense for, okay, the black one has gotten 54% of the ratings, and let's say this blue one has gotten 6%. So if Seller Amp is telling you 24,000 sales a month, this black one is getting 54% estimated of those sales. So that's super helpful to know. Those are just some basics that you guys should know before you are buying anything. Also, before you're buying anything, make sure you're always entering your buy cost here and your sell price here and actually making sure that it makes sense. So let's say we could get this calculator for $85 and we think, oh, awesome. Like, we can sell it for $100 and we'll make $15 profit. Like, no, that's not how it works. There are fees here, and you have to take that in consideration. After fees on this, if we were to just sell and sell the item for $100, we're going to get $79 back. So if we were to get this calculator for free, we would get $79 back. And so in order to make a profit here, we have to make the purchase for under $79. So always be entering in your buy cost to see what actually makes sense. So these, if we're wanting a 40% ROI, we need to get them for 56. The more competitive the listing, the harder it probably will be to get it at a higher margin. That's the probably last thing we're going to go into as far as basics for actually how to source is the lower the sales rank. It's like golf. The lower to zero it is, the faster it's going to move. So like we said before, Seller Amp is saying 24,000 sales a month. This is a really nice tool to just kind of all-in-one tool to kind of figure some things out as far as basically the data for the listing, so you can make a really good choice. The lower to zero, the better as far as how fast it sells. We want to make sure it actually sells. We don't want to just buy for profit, but then it never sells. We want the items to sell. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and scroll here, and we can see that there's a bunch of different people on this listing. So we're just going to click into some random store. This is, I've seen this store before. They're a slightly bigger seller, and we'll probably see some pretty interesting stuff in here. Actually, I've seen him on some of my listings. 1,700 feedback is definitely a bigger store. Most of you guys watching probably don't have 1,700 feedback. So these are probably a little bit more relatable: 5 feedback, 14 feedback, 21 feedback. So maybe we'll go back to these, but we're going to take a look at this really big store real quick to see kind of what he's up to. The pros of that is he is almost for sure a better seller than those other sellers. And the con of that is he might have, and almost for sure does have, more complex things going on in his business. He could be getting liquidation pallets. He could have major relationships with some of these brands and be getting them at bulk in really big deals. He could literally have a buyback part of his company where he buys these from people. There's a ton that could be going on. He could be doing wholesale. but he's going to be a better seller. And so maybe we'll get some ideas about kind of what are some good things that we can be doing and be looking for. So clicking into any store, we can see the brands that they sell. Avery, J5 Create, Dimensions, Andis, Zoomed, Fiskars, Canon, Adams, Logitech, Sylvania. Those are the brands that are his top ones anyways. And you can see how many he actually sells per each brand. So when you're doing storefront stocking, let's say you've sourced some Andes before. I don't even know how to say it. I'm not even saying it right. And you're just curious, how could I, what are some ASINs that I could add? If you see a seller selling some of those ASINs, you could just click in there and take a specific look there. Also, let's say you're very interested in just office products. You can take a look there. Kind of gives a breakdown for what this guy is doing in his store. So before we keep going, we got Cody in the house. Seth, we got the calculators. Good to see you, Cody. We got Blaine. Blaine also loves his calculators. Barely heard of those brands. Yeah, so I mean, we might as well take a look and see what this guy's even up to. Although I feel like you're joking, Blaine. I feel like you've, at least I'm sure you've heard of Canon anyways. But yeah, these are kind of some weird brands, but Canon I'm sure you've heard of. I definitely sell some Canon. So honestly, I'm just interested in this. So this guy looks like he has, as far as his Canon goes, he's got, sorry, the words aren't coming to my head. Basically, like a bunch of, several listings that he keeps in stock that are between 1 and 10,000 in office, that sell quickly in the $40 to $100 ballpark, which honestly are probably great opportunities. And I also forgot that I am needing to put dinner in the oven. So I will be right back and we will take a look at this listing. All right, so I'm very curious about this one. So let's click in here. So the reason I clicked on that one is, for me personally, I love my high ASP items. And the business model that I do primarily is eBay to Amazon. And basically, the higher priced it is, sometimes there's space to get it for cheaper. So in this case, the higher price, the better. So again, we always want to do our research and actually make sure we're making money here. So I have it set to see what 40% ROI is. And if we're going to sell at 112, we need to get it for 64. This is 5K in office products. I'm assuming the pack ink is the variation that gets the most. Yeah, literally all of it. And this is zoomed out so far. You do see that there's more offers as well. But the price hasn't really come down. And this is over the course of 3 years. Maybe it was because of 2020. But anyways, this seems like it's very steady. 120 is the lowest it really gets. Maybe 115. Or maybe this 112 that it is right now. So we'll say 115. We need to get it for 66. And so most likely it's probably not going to be in stock right now. Either that or Cody has gone and bought all of them already. But what we're going to do is we're going to see what's actually going on eBay. You can also do this on, like, you don't have to just search eBay. I mean, if you do regular online arbitrage, you should be searching these on Google as well. I often, like, my whole business model is centered around eBay to Amazon. So like I'm super set up to do it that way. We're going to filter new, filter by lowest. And you see how this is like all of these colors. It's an 8-pack. So this is obviously not the same one. We need the one that has all of them in one, just like this. And that's probably why it's $115. It's a good value to people. Yeah, so it's just straight very little of these in stock. But what I do like to check is their history of these selling at the right price. So it's debatable whether you could sell open boxes or not. I typically try to be a little more cautious. But this one right off the bat, we're just seeing that there's just not a ton of space on this listing. Sometimes you'll search the solds and you'll just see a ton of profitable solds being sold. And then other times you're going to see absolutely nothing or just one like this. And usually I just move on to something else and I try to find something that actually has some solds. Because if it's sold once at a profitable price, there's a good chance it'll sell again, and it's actually worth my time to take a look. So we got Elijah in the chat. Ayo, how we doing? We're doing good. We're just looking at some, we are storefronting a pretty big seller right now and kind of just figuring out what's going on. We got Unwind Travels. How are you approaching Q4 set? So one thing I'm doing is, and let me know if you guys can still see my screen. I am experimenting with FBM. So last week I made maybe 25, 30 purchases for FBM. Basically the idea is it's faster cash flow. And I just wanted to reinvest a part of my money actually in-house. That way, if something were to go wrong with Amazon for some reason, I would almost have like a little emergency fund on top of my regular emergency fund. In-house, I could always just sell that stuff back on eBay and it would be just fine. But for the time being, like, we'll invest the money in FBM products that will make us more money. So that's one way I'm preparing for Q4. Because in Q4, there will probably be some opportunities. Like, I don't do regular online arbitrage, but I'm sure there will be good eBay to Amazon opportunities as well to make some good money on FBM. Like, I never thought I would really FBM, but I actually did get, I've had 4 sales so far, and I listed the items, some of them Wednesday, some of them Tuesday, and then some of them Thursday. And I sold 4 so far, so I'm happy about that, actually. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. I had this belief in my head that, oh, FBM, like, you don't get any sales, blah, 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 blah. You need to FBA stuff in order to make money. And I just don't think it's true. Like, even this Keep a Graph, for example, you can see that the third-party FBM, they kind of do stick around a price slightly below buy box, and, you know, they get sales there. So this, for example, let's say we think that we can sell it for, we'll just shoot for like $69. Whoa, why is it so cheap right now? It really like went down a ton. We're still gonna assume that it just recovers and goes back to normal to like 70, 69 bucks. Because it's a fast moving seller. We need to get this for 38. So this one, I'm curious if there's going to be some good solds at this price. So we're going to just actually search the correct one. And so when you're looking into leads like this, you're almost playing a game of am I going to look at the listings that are extremely fast selling? And if we find something, we really find something that's going to sell immediately? Or are we going to take a look at the listings that are higher rank and they're going to sell slower, but there's less eyeballs and less people really caring about that listing. And so it's going to be easier to find this stuff. So right now we're really just shooting our shot with more absolute quick seller opportunities. So maybe next we'll take a look at higher ranked items. And then with the ink cartridges, you're not allowed to sell without the box, just like this. Like it's, I mean, you could probably get away with it, but I'm trying to actually sell within terms of service generally. So this is a 5-pack. Oh, yeah, this is just not really happening at all. There must just be some like big OA sale or wholesale sale or something with this. But someone did get this for $20. That's amazing. Is it even the same one? It's a 4-pack, I think. Right. Yeah, that's different. Yep. We're looking for the 5-pack here. Yeah, so I think that one, but that's open box. Yeah, so this is something, it'll be hard to get this at the right price for this. So what we might do is go ahead and go over, maybe we'll take a look at just their office products in general. And then all the fastest ones are at the top. So actually we're going to scroll down a good ways. As far as Q4, you kind of like got to get started preparing for Q4 like January 1st. Like as you get more and more confident and like understand the products that you're selling, you're preparing for Q4. In my opinion, I think Q4 is kind of like the icing on the cake because for me, I'm doing around 80K a month and I'm kind of using the cash I have on hand at any given point. So it'll just be a nice added boost to what I'm already doing because stuff will just sell faster. And speaking of sell faster, this guy does like his very quick selling items. We're seeing like mostly under 10K rank, even like 40K rank. I think this guy does like wholesale or something. Because like a lot of it is like lower ASP. We'll take a look at this though. This is interesting. So this is like a combo pack. This is one ink and another ink together. And I'm assuming you just have to like buy the one and then buy the other and then put it together. Interesting. Customers usually keep this item. This product has fewer returns than average compared to similar products. Wow. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, I mean, if you're not able to get bulk of this, you might as well list it above the buy box. So call it 77. I don't even know if this has a UPC. Or do they come together? I don't know. Yeah, see, this is a different UPC. Someone made a new UPC for this combination of items. So you literally have to buy this one and this one together. So if you do your own prep, that's going to be helpful in order to do that. So what we'll do here is maybe take a look at some of these sellers that are smaller and kind of get something that's a little less competitive. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this 5 feedback seller and see what's up here. Hey, we got Elijah packing some units himself. Good to get those sales. Good to have you, Elijah. Blaine says yes. Definitely heard a cannon. Good afternoon. Good to see you, RW. Welcome. We got Blaine saying, great to see you having some success and potential with FBM. Yeah, like I thought like it was just going to be super slow and like dumb, honestly. Like I think I always like was not super into FBM. But like basically what I'm doing is when I'm debating whether I want to do FBM or not, because I'm basically just buying my regular stuff. And then if I feel like it's especially good for FBM, I'll FBM it. What I'm doing is, and I would love some feedback if this is a good way to do it or not. But I'm just going to buy box statistics, and I'm taking a look at like in the 90 day and the 30 day, how much of the buy box is going to someone who is FBA. So like this one, I'm actually kind of surprised. Actually, it makes sense. But this one looks like it would be really good to FBM because, you know, like only like 30% of the buy box is going to FBA sellers, except for the fact that's not true because 95% of it is going to Amazon. So we were saying 24,000 sales on this whole listing. 54% is going to black. This is the black one. 95% of the sales are going to Amazon. So I messed up the math already. Okay, so 12,960 sales to this listing, and 95% goes to Amazon. So that leaves ballpark 500 sales a month to the rest of these people. So still, there seems like a lot of supply that could be going to FBM here. So that's basically what I've been doing. A lot of the times, a lot of the listings, it's like all FBA and there's like a few gaps. Those seem to be like worse ones to do. But when it's wide open like this, you kind of assume that there's a better chance. We got Elijah in the chat. Thanks, man. This week is my second full week as an Amazon seller. Let's go. Good to see it. And so are you packaging units to send to FBA, or are they FBM orders? And kind of like what business model have you been doing? What have you been finding success with? For me, the eBay to Amazon has been really good. But like I did books for like 9 months before that. I did retail arbitrage after that for months. I did online arbitrage regularly for a couple months. And then I did eBay to Amazon for the last year and a half. So far, Elijah is at 6,200 in sales and 280 units sold. So did you say you've only been in this for 2 weeks? Because if you've done, what is it? FBA, oftentimes it's literally 3 weeks inbound. So I'm assuming you're doing some FBM, or like only 2 weeks of items being active. Either way, you kind of got started very quick, invested quite a bit. So good job. That is some solid proof of concept, that's for sure. And Elijah, so far I've been manual sourcing as well as storefront stocking. Manual sourcing is where it's been at so far. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, reverse sourcing it's really good like at the very start to get some good ideas of like what's going on. I think storefront stocking is best once you know that your competitor really is doing the exact same business model as you. Otherwise, it's kind of like I don't know, this guy could be sourcing from like anywhere. And like I don't source the Lego store. Like I don't source like I've never even heard of these brands. Like I don't know what's going on. So like yeah, they probably have profitable leads, but they're doing something very different than me. Speaking of very different than me, Or Raspberry Pi. There was like one item that I got a really good deal on Raspberry Pi and made super good ROI eBay to Amazon. So that's what I'm going to click into and take a look at. Number 4, rank 4 in single board computers. So we gotta love the subcategories. Honestly, the subcategories are sometimes where it's at. So basically, what a subcategory is it's not a regular, like, this is office products, this is electronics, et cetera, et cetera. It's a subcategory. And people definitely do get sales on subcategory items. Obviously, there's a whole ecosystem on this listing. And you can kind of tell in the middle here, you can see single board computers. That is the subcategory. And in the past, it was selling slower, but then it really went down to one of the fastest selling single board computers. And it was up at over $200. And then at some point, a ton more supply came and literally went from 210 all the way down to $93. And that's disgusting. It has gone down recently. I honestly like to source items that are the opposite of this, because if there's been a history of the item being $93 and it was $93 for years, actually kind of like this. Like if we were sourcing this like right here, like that's awesome, because like we could get lucky and sell it for $260 or $300. But now like the tide's against us. For the last 3 years, people have been thinking this is a $200 item and we're trying to buy it at a profitable price to sell it for 94. So this is just like really bad. But we still are going to just take a quick look and see, like, is there for some reason, see people trying to sell this open box for like $180. Like, this is just silly. We got quantity. So I mean, so like everyone and their mom like has been thinking this is a really expensive item. I mean, honestly, like people are still getting this at a not that profitable price. So we would rather find something that, like, just for the sake of demonstration, I should click into that. But like, this is just not where it's at. We want the reverse of that. We want the offer count trending downwards, getting more and more hard to find, less and less supply. And preferably if it was cheaper in the past and then it looks like it's on the uphill. That's what I really like, personally. So let's go back and see if there's any Raspberry Pi that this is actually going to be good for. So this one looks like it's gone down. This one looks like it is slightly gone down. So this is like a keyboard. Yep. Again, same pattern. See, it was high and up, garbage. Next. Let's go to another brand maybe. Or we could do something, very interesting here. So eBay to Amazon is kind of what I like. And Flip Mine is something that I like to use. So sometimes if I find a brand that I'm actually like pretty interested in, what I'll do here is I'll set up some filters in order to specifically find that brand. So we're going to filter by profit, filter by condition new, filter by keyword, how do I spell raspberry? I don't know. I don't need to know how to spell raspberry. Raspberry Pi. Add a rule. And that's probably going to cut out like everything. So this is going to be a very specific eBay flip mine search. I'm going to say we want a 40% ROI. Sure. And wow, this is kind of wholesome. I don't know if you can see in the corner there, but my cat is literally sleeping inside that box. You can see her right there. I don't know if I can zoom in like this, but there she is inside the box below the yoga mat. But anyways, we'll get back to our search. All right, so this way we have a very specific 17 results. So this is super easy to just take a quick look through. So we're just going to open them up and kind of see what's up. I mean, we'd love if this is $119. This is just completely not. Okay, so we have a dog page, so that's a no. So we're just going to open some up. Because like, since we have such a specific criteria here, we can actually take a pretty solid look at these. That's not even the brand. That's not the same item. This looks like it could be it. It actually looks a lot like this. And we see that this is 46 and 45. All right, so we'll just take a look here. All right, so this is another pattern that I do like quite a bit. So there was supply, awesome, and then people were just out of stock for a while. People came back in stock, and then for whatever reason, it seems very low supply right now, and so like people are FBMing this for like a bunch. Although they're someone came back in stock at $68, which is kind of strange. So let's see what's going on here. That's really weird. They have 48. I'm curious if this is a scammer. What on earth? From Turkey. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm just a little confused by that. There's been times before where people have listed stuff at way too cheap of a price, and I've bought from them on Amazon, and they ended up just like never shipping the order, and then I had to go through a big process to get my money back, which is a pain. But it's like not surefire enough to actually make sure that it's like buying at 68 is just pretty risky. But this is 45 plus 9. There's 2 available. Looking at the UPC, 68 is the last 2 on the UPC. Scrolling over here, 68. We got 68, got 68. Same item. If we put them in the cart, you kind of got to put it in the cart to actually see. But I mean, 45 is a bit steep anyways. So let's say it's split. That's just not good enough. You could send them an offer. And this could be one to take a look at to see if these people go out of stock. But for now, we're going to move on. We have another one here. So it seems like it was great to have it here, but it's not that amazing right now. 65. Yep. 39. Ooh, do we have something here? Do we have something here? UPC 81 is the last. 81. Yep, I think we got a winner here. So a ton is going on with the sellers here. It does go down to around 50 bucks. Let's make sure that it's still good. Quantity order. Oh, they have a lot. Sorry, it's a 30. Yep, so you can get these at 38% ROI on the low end. And right now these are 65. And sometimes 82. Yeah, so these look really good. Another thing I do to just validate that I think this is a good choice is I'll just take a look at the other sellers. This guy has 200 feedback. This guy has 41. This guy has 13. It's nice to just see like the other people on the listing and like this guy's stocked up a bit. Yeah, so this honestly, we should probably be pouncing on this pretty quick. A plus, is this the same thing? Raspberry Pi 3, A plus, Pi 3. And I also do like to take a look at the supply on eBay. Like if there's just like supply out the wazoo, sometimes I do actually just stay away. And this is interesting because this is not the cheapest one, but there's it's just such a big discount. Sell-through rate is 40 sold, 27 listed. That's really good. So we're safe. We could sell this on eBay if we had to. Yep. So we should just pounce on this. And how many do they have available? This is a good one because I think this is one I don't know exactly how deep I want to go. So there's probably actually enough for all of us. So we could get 16. I mean, you could just go hard and get 16 of these, which would be a lot of money. Let's see here, 25 profit each. Could we FBM this as well? Buy box stats. Ooh, FBM. Yeah, maybe FBM. Interesting. But then you got to sell it like 50, 53. Although it might go up. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm going to FBM these or not. But I mean, since we're on stream, I'm probably not going to buy a ton of these because like a few people have seen it. But I might buy a couple. So I don't know how many I'm going to buy. But these are really solid. If we sell for the 65, which honestly you should probably list at like 80, these are really good profit. So yeah, super happy to find that. That's a really good purchase. And was I not sharing screen that whole time? Was I just talking up a storm, not sharing screen? Or did I just stop sharing the screen just a couple minutes ago? That would be so sad if I wasn't sharing screen that whole time. Just in case I wasn't sharing screen, this is what we were looking at here. This computer board sells for around $65 to $80. We could get it for $30.40. ROI is massive if we sell up there. At worst, we'll sell for 50. That'll still be 40% ROI. So super happy with that. And so one thing I'm seeing here too is the quantity discount. The shipping is not discounted as much as possible. So it is a little bit higher of a cost, but it still makes some good sense. Yeah, so this is still a good one to purchase, in my opinion. but I probably won't FBM this because that's kind of a bit smaller of a margin. Oof, that's so sad. I was just talking this whole way, but basically what we did in order to find this item is we were seeing in this guy's store Raspberry Pi. I had past experience selling a Raspberry Pi item, so we went to Flipmine. We entered profit 15, condition new, keywords Raspberry Pi, ROI greater than 40%. We took a look through some of these and we found this listing. Right. And I bought it. There's still more actually. We found this listing right here. It has a quantity discount for 30 each. You do have to pay for some shipping. So you have to add that into the cart to actually figure out what's going on with shipping. This is the item. It's a motherboard or a computer board. Keep is showing us sales anywhere between $65 and upwards of $80 in the last year. I mean, it was way up there, but right now, realistically, anywhere between $50 and $85. So yeah, feel very safe and solid with that purchase. That's a nice little tool belt to have in your back pocket if there's a brand that you're just super interested in eBay to Amazon, to just plug it into a keyword search on Flipmine. We got Elijah in the chat. Curious, how long have you been selling on Amazon, and after how long did you start actually paying yourself? I reinvested for a really long time, but with books at the same time. Books, you didn't really have to reinvest that much because it's like you're buying it for $1 and selling it for like an $11 payout. So you're just 10xing your money over and over again. You'll even have like $100 sales in there. So I kind of built up to a point where it was like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 of books, and kind of just have been able to pay myself with that. Use some extra money towards RA and OA. When I started doing OA and eBay to Amazon, I ended up, I would pay myself like bare minimum, and then I took on a $10,000 0% APR credit card. Kind of scaled a little bit with that, and then I started going a bit more hog wild and got like a ton of other credit cards and Amazon loan. Did anywhere between 50 and 100,000 in sales per month last year, selling used items eBay to Amazon, and then eventually kind of paid off all that and kind of kept the snowball going with just cash. And this year I've been paying myself a lot. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like I didn't pay myself more than like $4,000 or $5,000 a month up until last year. So yeah, kind of took a really long time. Yeah. Reinvesting, like the more money you have in the business, the better. It's just so much easier that way. Elijah says, huge. Do you mainly use Flipmine to find your deals? It's one of the best ways that I found to find deals. For eBay to Amazon, it's really good. Yeah. So I really enjoy Flipmine a lot. Also, just having a big database, I just write down all the items that I purchase so I can just take a look at any given point for more information about those. But with that being said, I'm going to hop off. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And if you guys are curious about joining a Discord group where there's other Amazon sellers to talk to and learn from, we have a free one in the description below just to keep in contact. So I'd love to see you guys there. And with that being said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you in the Discord. If you've made it all the way 45 minutes through this video and you're not in the Discord, I don't know what you're doing, but hope to see you guys there, and take care.